Hey guys, I just need to upload this video before I forget. Last night in the early morning hours of January 15th, I was looking at Jesus, and he put out his hands, and I saw in his hands like cards, like he was showing me, like pick a card kind of thing. And so I picked a card and I looked at it, and it was a 5, and it was a black 5. But I'm not sure. I think it was the 5 of spades. And then he did that again, and for me to pick another one, and he shuffled the card, kind of shuffled them a little bit, and then he showed me, and then I picked another one, and I looked at it, and it was a red ace, and I'm pretty sure it was the ace of diamonds. And then he pointed to the west, and he showed something hitting, and he went, I'm in the United States, so he was pointing to the west, and in the United States, on the western side of the United States, he hit his hand from the north down to the south, and he kept hitting his hand like something was hitting from the north to the south of the western side of the United States. And then he showed something rippling. So he pushed down in the north, and he showed a ripple going from north to south in the United States. And then on the western side. And that was all I saw last night. But again, there was that 1 and 5 thing, because then after I saw those cards, I realized that the ace card is the 1 card. And so it was, again, he was showing me 1 and 5 again, so I'm not sure what that means. Today was January 15th. I don't know. Maybe he's trying to show that the 1 and the 5 means 15. I don't know. I never know. I never know what he means. I just report. That's all. I've had visions, for the past week or so. I'll just tell you what I remember. He showed me another kind of rapture sort of vision thing where he had a bag on his back, where he was holding the bag on his back, and everybody was in the bag, like a net. It was more like a net, and it was like the net was, he was carrying it up to heaven. And then I had another vision where this one was kind of funny. He was like running in place, and he was like running with his knees really high up, like he was running up, like up something. And then I saw these big steps going all the way up into heaven, and they were these white blocks. They were these white blocks. I know it sounds so weird, and I have no idea what it means, because if I were to imagine a stairway to heaven, I would imagine a stairway. I wouldn't imagine white blocks, but they were white blocks, and they were just kind of going up. And they weren't going straight up either. They were kind of winding around, or kind of one would go this way, and then the other one would go up that way, and he was going up. He was going up on these blocks, and I was just watching him. And then I'm trying to think if there was anything else. There's been a lot of stuff. It's kind of weird, because somebody had asked me if I had ever had a vision of India, and I was like, no, sorry, and so I just didn't even answer. But then for some reason last night, I was like, wait a minute, because the person asked me, and then they asked me again and again. I think they asked me like 3 times. They kept asking me. And then finally I was like, well, I don't know, have I ever? And then all of a sudden I remembered this vision I had 2 years ago, where I did I did have a vision of India, except the reason that I hadn't remembered it at first was because in my vision I was looking at India from the north. So like I was looking down. It's weird. I mean, I don't know why, but I was looking like I was in the north and I was looking down at India instead of the other way around. Like when you look at India on the map, it was like from a different perspective. So I forgot about it. But what I saw was I saw all these people facing the north coming out of India, but like coming out of India into heaven. So it was really strange. But anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you because it's something that I don't think I ever shared with you guys before, and that person reminded me of it, and I just thought that was kind of interesting that they reminded me of that. But recently, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Oh yeah, he was facing the northeast again, and he was showing me what I thought was a halo or something. And he was kind of making this motion, it seemed like, with his hands over the northeastern horizon, it seemed like. And I went and I looked at Stellarium. I actually went and looked outside to see if I could see anything, but I didn't see anything. But I went to look in Stellarium, and the constellation of Gemini was over in that area around the time that I had the vision. So I don't know. I have no idea what it means. I tell you guys and then I forget about it. Oh yeah, there was another kind of interesting rapture-ish sort of vision where he was just holding me, and actually he was holding both me and my child, and we were hanging from a rope that was connected to a helicopter, and the helicopter was up above and it was hanging down, and he was holding onto the rope, and then he was holding me and my child. And then I looked, and we were just staying there in midair, like, and I looked, and there were all these helicopters all over the world that were hovering, and there was an angel holding onto a rope and holding somebody, but they weren't leaving yet. They were just hovering over, and the angel was holding the person, like, ready to go, and all the helicopters were going to take off all at the same time, but they were just waiting. Oh, that was kind of awesome, actually. And then I saw the helicopters finally go and they all went at once, but they all went to different places. They didn't all go in the same direction. I mean, it wasn't like a bad thing or anything like that. I mean, because I had the feeling that these were all like people that were being taken to safety. So it wasn't like a bad thing that they were just not all going to the same place. They were going to like different places, but they were all being taken to safety. So that was actually really awesome because I could see like the paths, and one would go, east, and one would go west, and it was cool. And then, oh yeah, and there's something that I forgot about when he pointed to the west and he showed something hitting on the western side of the United States. He had a gas mask on. So that was really weird. And then he took it off. I can't remember the exact how it happened, but he pointed to the west, and then he showed something hitting, and he had the gas mask on, and then he took the gas mask off and showed, I think that was when he showed the ripple going from north to south. Okay, so that's pretty much all I can remember of the last couple weeks. I'll talk to you later. Okay, bye-bye.